Hello beautiful ones, welcome to your practice today. This practice is the second practice in a little two-part series that I've created called Active. The first practice we focused on active feet, legs and hips, and today we're going to focus on active arms, shoulders and back. So this is a really lovely one for a little bit of a posture reset. It's going to help us to create that postural integrity so we can sit or stand tall in our day-to-day lives and feel a little more at ease. So to begin with, we're going to start standing. And you can just stand comfortably with the feet hip-width distance or together, whatever's best for you. And let's bend the elbows, lift the hands, turn the palms to face upwards. And just imagine that you're holding a really heavy plate or tray here. And we'll squeeze the elbows in alongside the body. And then create this action of pulling the upper arm just a little bit further back. And when you do this, you're going to feel the shoulder blades on the upper back gently squeeze toward one another. And you might even notice just even that small movement has really helped to open and lift across the front of the chest and the shoulders. And then from here, we're going to create fists with our hands. And imagine you have a really sticky piece of gum between the hands, chewing gum, or maybe just a resistance band if you prefer. And against imagine resistance, gently pulling the fists apart, away from one another. And just notice how that feels for you through the back side of the shoulders. So this is a really lovely way as we create this imagine resistance to engage and awaken the muscles in the back of the shoulders, particularly the external rotator muscles of the rotator cuff. And then let's just release, relax. And we'll do one more little introductory movement. So we'll reach the arms up overhead, turn the palms forward, create fists with the hands. And again, imagine that you're holding on to a pull-up bar. And against imagine resistance, you're going to just pull the hands and the elbows down like you're doing an imaginary pull-up until the elbows are just below the shoulders. And the imagine resistance is really important. So if you're just doing this without creating that resistance, then you won't get the activity and the engagement that we're really looking for in the back and the bottom of the shoulders, which helps to support us and to support our posture, right? So just feeling that, another breath. And then when you're ready, exhale, relax and release the arms. So we'll incorporate that into our little flow now today. So let's come and start straight away in a downward facing dog here. And because we're focusing a little more on the upper body, let's give some real activity to the arms today, pressing the mat away with the hands, spreading the fingers and gently gripping the mat with the fingertips. Take another in-breath. And on the out-breath, let's step our right foot forward between the hands and lower the left knee onto the mat. We'll come up into this lunge and bring the arms into this position again like we're holding a heavy tray, plate or platter. Shoulders drawing down away from the ears. And then a little pull of the upper arm slightly back. Keep those upper arms in alongside the body. Create fists with the hands. And against imagine resistance, opening the hands out away from one another toward the sides of the mat. Feel what you feel in the upper back, through the backs of the shoulders. And then we'll release and inhale, just sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down and step back, down dog. Let's move straight into second side. So left foot forward and right knee lowers. Lift the torso, bend the elbows, palms facing upwards. Hug the upper arms in alongside the ribs. Pull the upper arms slightly back and just feeling a gentle squeezing or hugging of the shoulder blades toward one another. Create fists with the hands. Find that imaginary resistance, like you've got that really sticky piece of chewing gum between the hands as we open the hands out away from one another. Take another breath here, just steady, even breath. And then we'll release, sweep the arms up overhead. Take a lovely deep breath in. And on the exhale, we'll plant the hands and step back, down dog. Okay, so inhale, let's rock forward to plank pose. And exhale to lower slowly onto the belly. We'll reach the arms back alongside the body and have your palms facing down onto the mat today. We'll lift the torso. So lift the chest and the fronts of the shoulders away from the mat. And then float the legs. And float the arms and the hands, locust pose. This is a beautiful way to strengthen and engage through the back seam of the body, which can be really notoriously weak in our modern lives, where we spend a lot of time probably sitting or time working at computers or driving, right? And as we stay here for just one more breath, see if you can lift the arms and the hands just a little bit further up away from the floor. And next exhale, we release and press back, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Okay, so this time let's step our right foot forward between the hands for crescent lunge. So we'll keep our back knee lifted now. Come all the way up and reach the arms up overhead here. And now we'll return to that imaginary pull-up that we were practicing earlier. So we'll turn the palms forward, create fists with the hands, and against imagined resistance, bend the elbows and slowly pull down, bringing the arms into that kind of cactus shape. Elbows just a little bit below the shoulders. Inner elbows drawing away from one another. Still keeping that imagined resistance, keeping that engagement here in the back and the bottom of the shoulders. One more in-breath. And as we exhale, let's let it go. Plant the hands on the mat, step back, downward facing dog. And we'll come straight through into the second side. Left foot forward, crescent lunge, reach up. Palms forward, right, hands shoulder width distance is fine. Make fists with the hands. Find that imaginary resistance like you really are doing a pull-up. And bend the elbows and slowly pull the elbows down. And of course, we can really focus on the sensations in the back, right? We feel the sensations of engagement, stability, and support when we create that imagined resistance. But notice also how it feels through the front seam of the body, the front of the torso, front of the chest, and the shoulders. One more breath in. And then we'll exhale, hands down and step back, downward dog. Okay, so we'll come forward to plank pose again, rock forward, and exhale to lower on to the belly. And this time we'll practice a different variation of locust pose. We'll reach the arms forward, palms facing downward. And as you're ready, lift the hands and the arms and the chest and float the legs into locust pose. And we'll do exactly the same movement here that we just practiced. Create fists with the hands, and against imaginary resistance, like you're doing a pull-up, we'll bend the elbows and slowly pull the elbows back till they're about just past the shoulders. Keep lifting the forearms and the wrists away from the floor. One more inhale. And then as we exhale, let's release. Stack the hands. Rest the head on the backs of the hands. Let the legs relax. We'll take a breath here. So incorporating this pulling action in our yogasana practice can be really helpful because yoga doesn't actually have a lot of pulling. There's a lot of pushing but not much pulling. So it can be really nice to weave these movements into our asana practice. Okay, so let's play with just one more little pose vinyasa or little pose flow today. Let's come up into Sphinx pose. Come onto the elbows, forearms on the mat. Some teachers say to bring opposite hands to opposite arms to have the elbows in the right position, but that really just depends on the proportion of your arms. So I like to say to actually look at the elbows and check that they're right underneath the shoulders. Interlace the hands and press the forearms and the outer wrists down. And if this is where you'd like to stay today, you're more than welcome to stay here, pressing the forearms down and gently pulling or creating the action of pulling the elbows back towards the feet, heart drawing forward through the shoulders. But if you feel like a little bit more play today, then let's come into a forearm plank. Tuck the toes, lift the knees here. And from forearm plank, we'll step the feet in and lift the hips up into dolphin pose. And so if dolphin pose feels easeful for you, then really focus on a gentle squeezing of the inner elbows in toward one another. And you might even take a moment just to lift the head and look at the position of the shoulders. So because today we want to focus a little more on strength and stability in the shoulders, if you like, if it's available for you, shift the shoulders forward so they're right up above the elbows. And then you might even step the feet in a little closer to the elbows, lifting the hips, the pelvis a little higher. So just meeting yourself where you are, relax the head, let the neck be long. 2 more breaths here. And know that you can always come out early if you need. Last breath. And then we'll step the feet back to forearm plank and lower slowly all the way back down to Sphinx pose. Let's release and take one more locust pose. You might choose to reach the arms back again, lift the hands and the arms, the chest and the legs in our first variation. Or if you're just looking for a little more release through the front of the chest and the shoulders, then interlace the hands and reach the knuckles back, beyond your tail, towards your feet. Last breath. And then we'll exhale and let go. Press back to all fours, hips back towards the heels, and take a moment in child's pose. Just a couple more breaths here, beautiful ones. An opportunity just to attune to the felt sense of being in the body today. On your next inhale, we'll gently come upright And we'll just come to close the practice in any comfortable seat. So sitting comfortably, kneeling or sitting cross-legged, just whatever suits you. And let's just return, because we focused a little more on things that can be really beneficial to the posture or to our posture. Relax the hands on the thighs or in the lap, and just take a moment to feel the head above the ribs and the ribs above the pelvis, sitting tall, shoulders relaxed, down away from the ears, spacious and open through the front of the chest, spacious, grounded, and at ease. Thank you for sharing your practice. Peace, peace, peace. Thanks for practicing all the way to the end. Every practice I offer is possible thanks to the support of my patrons. So if you'd like to continue to support me, as well as access full-length practices, meditations and pranayama, then sign up on Patreon. Thanks.